This doll vessel holds within it the spirit of a young woman named Gracie.
He's considered the most haunted doll in the world.
She had only begun to live her life at the young age of 18.
Probably the most dangerous artifact that we have here in the museum itself.
She seeks answers to her untimely death.
What's so special about this doll?
Cole, please.
Hi guys. I took a week off because I was really busy moving to New York City. Except I hate it here. I can't believe I'm doing this. Here, I am going to put myself in danger. Well, that's at the end of the video. I would especially love to hear about your stories about any haunted artifacts, like dolls. That's what we're gonna be talking about today. Freaking dolls. I absolutely am so afraid of dolls. They're very creepy. Most popular doll of all time will probably have to be Annabelle. If you don't know about Annabelle, you've been living under a freaking rock. In real life, if you don't know the real life story, Annabelle is actually a regular Raggedy Ann doll and doesn't look as creepy as it does in the movie. Currently, the real Annabelle now resides in the Museum of the Paranormal Investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. I'm pretty sure you've heard of them. This doll moved to that museum allegedly after some freaking paranormal things were happening around them. So they kind of said, oh, that doll is demonically possessed and you should get rid of it and give it to us so we could put it in our museum. Let me tell you that story. This student nurse, her name was Donna. Donna was gifted this doll by her mother in 1997 on her freaking birthday. Once Donna received this doll, she started noticing like weird things. Like at the time she was living with the roommates, noticed the doll move from place to place and she was like, what the heck is going on here? She kind of ignored it for a while, but then after some time, things started to escalate pretty quickly. They had a friend come over regularly. He was like, that doll is pretty creepy. I don't know, there's something weird going on with that doll. I don't want to be near it. The guy went over to Annabelle and all of a sudden he felt some like sharp pains on his chest. So he checked and guess what? There were claw marks on his chest. Donna, the nurse, went to a psychic, I think, right? Yeah. The psychic told her that doll is a vessel for a little girl that got killed. That little girl's name was Annabelle. But her roommate was like, how bad could it be? What can a little girl do to us? And honestly, I kind of feel bad for her, so let's just keep her and take care of her and, you know, whatever. But things escalated really, really quickly. It started to be very violent and aggressive towards them. That is when the Warrens were finally contacted. You know what? Annabelle is now being stored in a glass cage and people have reported seeing the doll move. I think a bird is freaking like, oh my god, I hate pigeons. I used to not, but now I do. And people have apparently been like died after seeing Annabelle, like after going and mocking Annabelle. I don't know if that's true, but
His name is Robert the Doll, and he's considered the most haunted doll in the world.
so the story with this one is, bear with me. One day there was a kid named Eugene Robert Otto. He was a young boy in the early 1900s and he was given a handmade doll, like a one-of-a-kind doll, by a servant in the household at the time. Eugene loved this doll. He named it Robert. As a 10-year-old boy, Eugene one day was sleeping in his room. Then he was awakened by Robert, the doll. Bam! The doll is just staring at him so creepily. The doll was now on his bed. Soon after, the mother of Eugene was woken up by like freaking screams. They were coming from her child. She went in, found Eugene all scared and frantic. The room was in shambles and Eugene blamed it on Robert. After experiences like that, they decided to lock up the doll in the attic. There were reports of people, like kids, seeing Robert the doll staring at them through a window on the first, second floor or something like that. That was impossible because he was in the freaking attic. Eugene once saw Robert the doll in a room he wasn't supposed to be in either, and they also heard him giggling and walking around the attic. It was just so creepy. And now they hold Robert the doll in a museum as well, kind of like Annabelle, and it's locked up. Here's one I don't think you normally would hear or know about. Okiku the doll. This is all in Japan. Here's what happened with this one. 17-year-old brother decided to give his 2-year-old sister a doll in 1918. The little girl absolutely adored this doll. The girl's name was Okiku. What happened is that Okiku, these freaking pigeons, I swear to God. One second. Okiku died from yellow fever. So she was barely 3 years old. She died, and while she passed away, she held the doll in her arms like as tight as could be while she was taking her last breath. Obviously, this was absolutely devastating for the family, and so in order to honor her, they wanted to bury the doll with her because she adored this doll. But unfortunately, because of freaking pigeons, I cannot finish my story. Kind of sounds like someone's trying to get into my room, and it's kind of scary. Unfortunately, because of government regulations, they couldn't do that, so they had to keep the doll, and what they did is put it on the family altar to honor her. Soon after, they started to experience really weird stuff with the doll, like the doll would like move. You know what? They noticed that her hair was growing. Her hair was, you know what this reminds me of? The doll at Disneyland. But there's kind of an explanation for that one, but this one there's really no explanation for, because their hair is not made out of yarn. Like, this is how much the hair grew. Like, it was shoulder length at first, then it reached to like below her waist. Not only that, but they would also wake up to like noises of the doll, and it would wake up to the doll right next to them. The lights will go on and off. There would be banging sometime, noises. Paranormal experiences occurred more closer to the day of the little girl's death and also her birthday. The family was very like, yes, this is my daughter, this is her. The family did end up moving, and they didn't want to keep the doll because they figured that the doll was like this because they were so close to the grave, so they decided to give it to the temple so the doll could be taken care of. The doll gets regular haircuts. Niece, I think, sent the hair to get tested, and the hair proved to be that of a human being. See, I find dolls so freaking creepy that I don't even know how to deal with it. The creepiest thing about them, I feel like, is the eyes. Like, if you stare deep into their soul, well, deep into their eyes, you can see their soul. Like, there's something in there. This reminds me of a video that got really popular. So I tried screen recording this video, but for some reason it wasn't allowing me to. It never just screen recorded the whole thing. And so, I mean, I did receive the doll, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but yeah. Anyways, the doll basically just moves its head. People think that one, it was either a prank, but the reaction seemed very genuine. Like, I like, it seems very real to me. And the other one was that there's a lot of hair on the doll, so it probably weighed the head down. But I have a quinceañera doll, and I don't think the hair weighs that much to move the doll's head like that. I have a fear of haunted dolls, right? So guess what I did? I bought a haunted doll from Etsy, and I am gonna try to get over my fear of these haunted dolls. I'm gonna try to prove to you that this is just fake. It's not real. And if it's real, you are all invited to my funeral, and you can tell the whole world that I'm so dumb in buying a freaking haunted doll that it killed me. But I don't think it will. I think I'm gonna prove that haunted dolls don't actually exist. Hopefully. It's gonna arrive soon, so keep a lookout for that. Tell me your haunted stories as well. I'd love to hear them, especially if they're doll related. I guess that's all. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Love you.
Stateroom that gives many people the chills.
As you know, the Queen Mary is known as a haunted ship. The Queen Mary, long known for its paranormal activity.
Who's up? Is anyone on the staircase?
Room B340.
Man
was found dead in his cabin.